Welcome. This is the Evolvepreneur Secret Show for entrepreneurs, and I'm your host, Brian Silverthorne. And it's always my mission to help entrepreneurs make the difference they want in their business and to meet the challenges of startup growth or relaunch. And today we're going to dig deep with our guest to uh, get you the best concepts and strategies to help with your business. And our special guest today is Jenna Zeng. And Jenna is a serial entrepreneur with a very interesting background, which we'll get into during the show. Welcome to the show, Jenna.
Thank you for having me.
Happy to have you here. Always like to meet new people and learn new stuff. So
hmm
why don't you give us a little bit of your backstory and where you got to today, what your current focus is.
Current focus is StaffNet. So I'm a co-founder of a work optimization tool to essentially help small to medium businesses automate their day, much like what you do with your automations, in terms of just simplifying their day overall, right? So we want to make sure that we're leveraging our time efficiently. And me, myself, I struggled as a small business back in 2018. And we owned a cleaning business at the time. It was a side job. I had my full-time job with the federal government here. And then what I found was I was just doing so much admin work on the evenings and then weekends that I basically was stuck. I couldn't move my business forward and seek other clients and stuff because I was constantly trying to catch up. So in this game of catch up, we ended up just kind of staying in the same kind of vicious circle with our business, and we didn't really move the needle forward at all. So then we met up with some developers and created a platform that was best suited for us, because by no means did we reinvent the wheel with employee scheduling, inventory, CRM. All those things and platforms exist on the internet nowadays. It's a pretty saturated market. But we didn't find the perfect tool for us. So that's where we went to the developers and we said, this is the wireframe that I would like to see. These are the key features that I need to see. And basically from there, they put together a quote for us. We went forward with it and we decided to basically just create this platform for ourselves, for our small business at the time. Fast forward to a year forward, and we're in the midst of doing some testing in it with our own company. And again, we were just creating it for ourselves. And there was some aha moment along the way that if we were struggling as a small to medium business to find a platform that was cost effective, that had all of the key features that we needed to automate our day, other people are probably struggling as well. So then we wanted to launch a beta test to see, again, if the market is too saturated for this. We ran a beta test for people all over the world. We found testers via LinkedIn. So it was really, really interesting. And we were able to launch in October of 2021 last year. And since then, we've helped over 200 clients, actually. So it's really exciting.
Well, that's excellent. That's excellent.
Yeah.
So what's your ideal client look like, and how do they find you currently? What's working best to get people to visit you?
Yes, our ideal client is a small to medium business. We're definitely in the service sector. So we have the scheduling, employee scheduling, I should say, like I mentioned, and they have the check-in and check-out. So this is really made for remote teams, on the road, deskless teams, where, as an admin or business owner, you need to be able to oversee multiple people working different shifts at the same time. So, we're talking HVAC, plumbing, cleaning, like ourselves. We've definitely been in restaurants as well. So anybody with an employee can definitely utilize this. But that's generally where we end up, is the service sector. How we find people is pretty interesting, because when we first launched, we thought, okay, the proper way to launch is we're going to have to pay for marketing. So we paid a lot of money for marketing. We did radio ads, we did paid promotion through different media outlets here where we are, and it was very much localized. And it did pay off a little bit, but since then, my marketing budget ran pretty slim. And so I kind of had to become very resourceful, because we are a startup, we're bootstrapped, so we don't have any investors or anything like that. So I started doing organic marketing, What does that look like? That's content creation on social media. That's guesting on podcasts like this, showing up on LinkedIn and creating connections. And, people through that will endorse you if they like your product overall, different things like that, blogging, SEO. So we had to get really creative. We are a small team, so it's become a full-time job, but it's really, really interesting. And that's how we reach out. So we reach out client to client essentially. So it's very intimate, if you will. So it's been really cool so far.
Oh, great. So, so this is you're now full time in this, or are you
Yeah.
still with the government as well?
Yeah, so I'm full time now with this, which is really interesting. I never would have imagined that I'd be in tech and that I could actually go out on my own in my own business. So yeah, doing this full time since October, pretty much. Yeah, I just kind of jumped with both feet in.
Well, good.
Yeah, sink or swim.
Yeah, sometimes you got to do that. Well,
Yeah.
we all know that business success is about growth. It's you're either growing or you're shrinking. I guess there's no status quo, but sometimes it's a little bit difficult. So, what are your plans for growth over, say, the next 12 months?
Yeah, over the next 12 months, I'd say we'd want to reach close to 500 to 1,000 more customers. And then through that, we've actually been doing consulting. And that was kind of a happy accident. We basically said in one of our email marketing workflows that, if you wanted to reach out for any tips or tricks, and this could be subscribers or actual clients that are receiving these emails, reach out to us, ask us a question. We'll tell you to the best of our knowledge what's worked for us. And I just love to connect with people and have a quick chat and see, what kind of knowledge can you give to me and vice versa, right? So yeah, basically we started doing this consulting thing. It's totally free. And I'd like to see that grow. Not that we would start charging for it, because for me, that kind of defeats the purpose to be of service. So I want to continue that and grow that with my team so that we can have these 15-minute chats with these entrepreneurs and grow our community even more so we're a little bit more tight knit, and just have StaffNet grow as a brand that people recognize, because we are still very, very, very new.
Right. Well, you mentioned these chats with entrepreneurs on your own. Have you ever thought of turning those into podcasts? Because you're talking with potential clients, right?
Yeah, we're talking with potential clients and people who are already clients, essentially. So it doesn't really matter where they fall. It's the same kind of guidance we will give as much as we can. We'll provide as much value. But no, I've never thought about the podcast avenue. I've definitely guested on podcasts, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd be a good host. That's a good question.
Well, you're certainly pleasant enough, and if you're curious enough to ask the right questions, which I'm sure you do when you're doing your
True.
consulting work, because you have to ask questions before you can offer any advice of any kind. So
This is true.
I don't think it would be all that tough,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it might be something to consider.
yeah.
So what do you consider the biggest roadblock right now, if any, that you need to run around or jump over to get to your vision, say in the next 12 months?
I would say getting in front of as many people as possible. Organic is great and it's working really well for us. It's kind of um, panned out tenfold in terms of, the resources that we're putting out and then the reaction that we're receiving from people. So it's working out really well and the conversion rate is great, but there's only so much of me and my team. So especially for like a growing team, it's hard to get in front of as many people as we would like. So I think that's a big roadblock right now. How can we optimize this organic marketing as much as possible? So that's pretty much where we're at. We're trying to be a little bit more creative.
Okay. Yeah, it's all about creating opportunities, and the more volume you have to engage in conversations, which lead to relationships, which lead to potential new business, the better you can. So if there's a way you can magnify that and multiply it, that's the best way it works. So how do you monetize what you're doing now? Do people pay a subscription or some other method?
Yep. So there's the subscription. I'm really proud we do have a freemium account. So again, we're very much all about service because initially StaffNet wasn't created to go to market. So we want to really help out like the little guy, if you will. So from users 1 to 4, it's a free account. They get free access to all of the exact same features the other tiers do. 5 to 25 is a subscription, and then from 26 to 50 is a subscription. So those two are paid, but we do have a freemium account right now. So that's how we monetize at this point.
Okay, great. So do you have a pretty good email list for your clients and potential clients to keep them up to date and see if you've got any new and fancy bells and whistles that you can offer them as you go?
Yeah, exactly. So we have, I dove deep into the email marketing. I took every master class I could, every online course from somebody who I found was reputable and that I obviously engaged and connected with. And yeah, I just dove headfirst because I do have a VA and we have other people on our team, but I wanted to do it myself. I wanted to learn how to create an email list, but also engage with these people and really target people, but also speak to them as well. So that they do want to buy into what we can do for them and they know that we can be of service. So we've grown our email list from 0 to over 500 people at this point, and this is from people landing on our website and just subscribing to our blog, which I still write myself as well. So it's really fun to be able to connect with our audience that way, and then people who are our customers as well.
Okay, well, good. So you're certainly getting the word out there,
Yes.
and well, you say that you're writing content, so it's how well that message is delivered that's going to pique the interest. And so you like to create the content because you mentioned blog and email,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, I enjoy it. I very much enjoy it. I'm definitely creative in that area, and I never again would have thought that writing was for me or, just the online business was for me because I worked in HR with the
Okay.
government, like doing spreadsheets and, my eyes going cross-eyed by the end of the day. And, I'm writing this blog and I'm dealing with the clients one-on-one. And it's so refreshing and such a change and such a happy accident that I found my thing essentially. And so blogging has become a really good outlet for me personally. I have a personal blog where I talk about all things being a mom, a wife, entrepreneur, and trying to balance everything. And then there's the business blog on StaffNet's website where anything from my brain that, I think is of value to an entrepreneur, I kind of throw it out there and see if people enjoy it. And so far,
Yeah.
so good.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is quite a transition from HR to the world of tech and content creation
Yeah.
to to grow a business. So, good on you, as they say. Um, so, you got anything like all entrepreneurs, especially bootstrapped ones, because I've done that in the past, that kind of keeps you up at night?
So repeat that.
Do you have anything at all that kind of keeps you up at
Oh,
night
keep me
regarding
up.
your business? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the fact that it's online and it's nothing, I don't have a tangible product, right? I don't have this cup that I can offer you and ship to you. It's all online and we have servers that run everything. And so there have been times where, we are at technology's mercy and something goes down and it's not working. And then, it's freak out mode. How do we put out these fires? I'm contacting our developers team and they're amazing, but not being in control, I think is the best way to put it, where, you kind of have to relinquish control and like let people do their job, which is rightfully so, but at the same time, things happen. So, just being okay and going with the flow with it. So that definitely can keep me up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything that you can't control directly
Yeah.
often can create a pause, wondering how it's going to happen. And I guess you just kind of have to develop plans in put them in place in case something happens. So if there's automatic workarounds or whatever it happens to be, but as long as you're paying attention, things can get can move relatively smoothly when the technology doesn't cooperate.
Hmm.
So, if you had one of your clients that you were talking to relative to the use of the service that you provide, what's kind of the best piece of advice that you would give them?
I would say automate your day as much as you can. There's so many tasks as being an entrepreneur. You're wearing several different hats. So as much as you can automate, if that's schedules, that's client follow-ups, project planning, whatever it may be, team messaging, do it, because these little tasks add up to take up your whole day, and then all of a sudden you don't have the time to work on the big projects that will actually move your business forward, which is where I was when I first started in my cleaning business. So I would say that's the biggest piece of advice. Automate your day as much as you can.
Okay, great. So in doing what you're doing now and attracting the new opportunities as they come along, are you meeting your revenue goals, or do you have specific revenue goals for the next 12 months or so?
Yeah, we definitely exceeded what I thought that we would earn, which is really, really cool. But yeah, I think I was undervaluing what we could offer at the time. And so we definitely need to reevaluate where we want to see that go in the next 12 months, because, yeah, it just kind of blew me away what we've been able to accomplish so far, and just the feedback we've received from our community so far.
Well, that's absolutely wonderful. Not
Yeah.
too many people. Well, it happens occasionally in business when your expectations are exceeded, but you never know. You just have to keep monitoring and evaluating and improving, I guess, as you go. So I'm sure you have systems in place for that, since you're big on automation.
hmm Yeah, and especially with the cleaning business, it didn't happen that quick, right? So that's where we were in the mindset, the perspective of this is going to be slow, and we were just kind of ready for that ride. So it was definitely good news to hear that it was growing faster than we had anticipated. But, like you said, in most cases, it's more of a slow build.
Yeah, right. So you want to give us a little bit on some shameless self-promotion here on how people can find you, and give a little last piece of advice for our audience?
Of course, yeah. So you can find us at StaffNet on Instagram if you're hanging out there. We're on LinkedIn quite a bit. And then for our website, we're staffnet.ca. And that's where the blog is. So you can subscribe, or you can just go on and start a free trial as well. So we have 14 days for free that we're offering at this moment, where you can come try us on for size and see if we fit, essentially. Our team is here to provide demos, support, anything that you need along the way to cater StaffNet to your business, essentially.
Great. Well, thanks, Jenna. Folks in the service industry ought to find out how to find you and see if there's anything that you can offer that's going to help them. It sure sounds like you would, and I appreciate you taking the time and offering your insight and being a guest on the show. So
Thank you.
if everybody out there listening to this, just before you go, if you like this episode, we'd be very grateful if you'd offer us a little 5-star review. And if you'd be so kind, please consider recommending this podcast to a friend or two. And make sure you subscribe for future episodes at evolvepreneurSecrets.show. And until next time, if you're an entrepreneur, make a start on your next great idea today. Thanks.